I'm trying out like a lot of different products. I'm trying out this eyeshadow palette. This is from Profusion. It's called Twilight Hour, and I grabbed this and it was $10. I think a little less than $10. But I created this eye look with it, and I have a lot of thoughts. So like you'll hear my thoughts in this video. It's really something. And then I'm trying out a couple like new to me products. Well, honestly, they're still relatively new. I'm trying out a Tower 28 blush, like the new mattifying one, and the Haus Labs bronzers, and like some Lippie products. So there's a lot of new stuff here. I normally don't do a lot of new products together at once, but I really just wanted to play with makeup today. So if you want to see how I did this look, just keep on watching. So I was shopping for a couple of things to add to my kit, like a refill, because I have a busy weekend. And I picked up this. This caught my eye, and this was only like $10 at Walmart. This is from Profusion Cosmetics. It's Twilight Hour, and look how pretty these colors are. I just saw this and I was like, okay, I have to try this out. I used Profusion Cosmetics like a while ago, like a long time ago. And I don't remember how it is. So for this palette to be only $10, I really wanted to just test it out. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my lid with the L'Oreal Infallible concealer, and I use the shade Oatmeal, and I use a brush to blend everything out. I've been recently doing like my base first, but I'm gonna go back to doing my eyes first, because I kind of want to go heavy with my eyes, and I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of fallout. So we'll just start with the eyes and have all this blended out. To set with just a little bit of setting powder. I'm using the Morphe setting powder. I'm still testing this out. There's gonna be a lot of new, well, it's not that many new products, but I do want to try a couple things out before this weekend, so we're just gonna try them on my face. But this setting powder I like. It actually is more translucent than a lot of the other setting powders I've tried. So this one is a win. I just don't like the packaging itself. Like the holes are pretty big, so even a gentle shake just dumps out like a lot of product. So that's my only beef with this, but otherwise I think this is a fantastic setting powder. Filling in my brows, I'm just using the Morphe micro tip pencil in Java. Pretty sure this is Java. Yeah, it is, and I really do like this. I usually use the Absolute New York one, which is a really affordable one. That one's great, but I really wanted to recommend something that also is like easier to get, like Morphe. So this is a close, I mean, this is just pretty much about the same product. It's just this one costs just a little bit more than the Absolute New York one, but this one's still really affordable. I think this is like $7, $10, something like that. I think Absolute New York is $5. I'm so excited to just start with this palette. Okay, I think I'll start off with this shade right here, and I'll start building up my crease. I really hope, oh, there's a good bit of kickback. Okay, we'll see how this works out. Just taking a really nice fluffy brush, and I'll go ahead and build my crease up. I am picking up quite a bit each time I dip in. It does feel a little chalky, but it's still like, I don't know if it's just the shade itself, but it's just giving, it just feels like it's not really laying down. And I didn't really set my eyelid that much, so I don't know. Let's see, it might just be the color itself too, because this is a really cool tone shade. So let me deepen this up. I'll go ahead and use, I think I'll use this like grayish shade here. This one looks like a nice taupey shade. Okay, now I'll go ahead and deepen, oh my god, there's a lot of kickback here. I'm just dipping my brush in, and there's a lot. I don't know if this, I don't think this is a pressed powder formula. Okay, let's see. Okay, it does seem to be a little chalky, I'm not gonna lie. It's not bad, but it is pretty chalky, and there is a lot of kickback here. But let me see if I can make this work. But especially with like the quality with some makeup brands these days, like it's really hard to find a bad quality product. So honestly, I really thought this was going to have a little better quality. But I mean, for $10, we can make this work. Between blue and purple, but I'm wearing like a navy blue shirt, so we'll just stick with the blues. I'll just go ahead and use this like electric navy-ish shade, and I'll switch to a smaller blending brush and start deepening my outer corner and my inner corner. So hopefully this doesn't give as much, oof. There's still quite a bit of kickback, but let's see. For the amount of kickback that I'm seeing and the amount of pigment that's not really appearing on my eye, okay. Okay, but this color is gorgeous. Look at that. This is like a peacocky blue shade. It's like a royal blue shade. Okay, yeah. Kind of have to work with it. But once it works, it's really nice. Excuse my eyes because I slept, I think, anywhere between an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. And that's still being generous. I was up editing last night. I was just like, you know, when you're just in a really good like zone, that's what was happening last night. I was editing a whole bunch of video, and I have to edit a lot more than you guys see, because I do send in videos to some companies, but I was up a while last night, and by the time I finished editing, I was like, okay, well now it's time to go clean my makeup brushes, but then I looked at the time and it was like 5 a.m. and I was like, well, I have to be up in like 3 hours, so let's just call it a night. Made myself go to sleep. I also have trouble sleeping a lot these days. I'm dipping back into that taupey brown shade fluffy brush, and I'll blend this out. But I made myself go to sleep, got some rest. I don't feel tired or anything, but it doesn't usually hit me until like day 2. But I will be sleeping like a baby tonight. Hopefully, if I get this video edited and uploaded. That's really pretty. But do you guys see some chalkiness? I feel like on the viewfinder, it looks like a little chalky, even though this is like a deeper blue. Anyways, let's see. I think I want to add a little bit more color. I'm going to go in with a purple shade and see how this goes. I'm going to use, I think, this middle purple shade here. It's another matte shade. Let's see how this plays. I'll use a flat brush this time and see. Okay, still a lot of kickback. Ooh, it's like I'm going in really lightly too. Okay, let's see. I'll put it on the outer third. Okay. That's nice, but it just kind of looks like it has a little bit of chalkiness to it. Am I crazy? Is this delirium from not sleeping talking? It's a really pretty shade though, but it looks more like a sheer color. Like I feel like if I didn't prime my lids with the concealer, these colors wouldn't be showing up as nicely. So if you're planning on getting this palette, make sure you prime your lid with like a lighter shade, otherwise these colors aren't gonna pop. Because I'm seeing like where it's transparent just on my lid and it's not really showing much. It's okay. We can make it work. I'm really glad I didn't do my base first because, I mean, I'm going in like with a really light hand here, but this does have a lot of like fallout. It's falling out on my eyelashes right now. But just something to keep in mind if you're thinking about getting this palette. Key for this eyeshadow is just using a flat brush and just packing it on. I don't think, like I feel like you can blend afterwards, but to make this even, it is a little bit patchy. You just need to pack it on. But the colors are really pretty though, once you make it work. But I feel like at this point in the cosmetic industry, you shouldn't have to work this hard to make an eyeshadow work, you know? Use a smaller like smudgy brush and I dipped into that blue shade, and I'll go ahead and smoke my lower lash line out. See, it looks pigmented here. I really feel like this with like the like, you know, the product that you use to make anything waterproof, like the drops. If you add that, these would make amazing eyeliners. I might just try that with this palette. Okay, I guess it's I don't know what's going on. I feel like the pigment on the lower lash is showing up a lot better. What do you guys think? But I'm gonna smoke it out so I don't look as raccoon. This actually looks pretty good, okay? After working with it, it's fine. I really like these colors. Like the color story is why I picked this up. But now I'm just taking my like smaller blending brush and kind of diffusing the purple into the crease. And I feel like because of that chalkier texture, it is kind of helping it blend. But I wish it just wasn't as chalky because there's so much fallout. Like the palette's a mess right now. And then I'm gonna go ahead with this shade. This is just catching my eye. Let me actually try this with my finger. Whoa, okay, this is like really soft. It's almost like a squishy texture. Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna use this with my finger. Just dab it on my lid. Ooh, okay, that's really nice. It's a really pretty shade. Okay, I hope this just doesn't fall over all over my face. But really, that's so gorgeous. Okay, this palette might just be worth it for these shimmers. I only see one other shimmer that looks like the same texture. That's gorgeous. This is like a soft, velvety texture. I really like that. And the other shade that seems like it's the same texture is the lighter shade that I do want to use in the center of my lid, but I'll try that with a brush and see how that feels. But this is, I like how this feels on its own. Wow. But I love layering my shimmers so I can get a lot of dimension. A little bit of staining. I know this happens with a lot of red shadows, and it does kind of have like a red base to it. So just a heads up. I mean, a lot of red eyeshadows would do this, so that's not anything crazy. Dipping into this shade right here. See, this one looks like it's the same texture as this purple one. So let's see. I hope this picks up well with a brush because I don't really like... Interesting. It like goes down. Like, I don't know if I can show it on camera. The brush isn't really picking anything up. Okay, I might have to, whoa, it's like a putty. Okay, this is a putty texture. I'll just put this right in the center. It picks up. It picks up a little bit at a time, but it works. But yeah, this is like a putty texture. It's so weird. It's not even like a putty, like a wet type of putty. This is like I need Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, to come back here and tell me what's going on with this, because this is like some kind of new state of matter. Oh my god, okay, the last video I uploaded, the prom makeup, I was editing and I was like, oh my god, I seem so off and tired. The reason of that is because I started working out. So I've been working out and it really tires me out but at the end of the day. And I was filming after one of those workout days and I was just so pooped. That yeah, in my last video I just looked so off and I'm like, well, I'm not working out anymore. I like my liveliness in my videos. I'm using the purple shimmer. Ooh, I put too much. What's going on? This is a little hard to work with. I was trying to wipe it and I made a mess. Okay. I was trying to wipe it and I made a mess. But see, this is why I'm glad I didn't do my base beforehand. It's okay. I can use my micellar water, but I'm gonna try to put a little bit of shimmer on like the inner portion of my lid or my lower eyelid, just to bring a little sparkle back. Okay, and the matte shadow just totally came off. Hold on. I was trying to clean up the shadow like in the corner here, but do you see it just kind of looks like, I don't know, it stained my skin, but also like it's coming off, the shadows is coming off in patches. I think I'm just messing with it too much. This is probably all my fault. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna blend this out. There's gonna be just glitter everywhere. It's okay. I really hope this glitter actually stays on the lid and doesn't crease. If this doesn't end up in my crease, I'm gonna be impressed and this palette's gonna be worth it, because for something to be this texture, it's just everywhere. For something to be this texture and if it actually stays on, that's gonna actually be really nice. And honestly, I would literally keep this palette. I mean, I'm gonna keep this palette, but I would literally keep this palette for just these two shades if it performs the way I want it to. And today I'm gonna do some gel eyeliner. I picked this one up. And I'm going to, okay, so I used to use gel liners before. Gel liners were like my go-to and they worked fantastic. It's just been a while since I've done them on me. I will do it on other people. But let's see. I'm just gonna go for like a thin, light wing and we'll just see what happens. I literally use like a paintbrush that's nice and thin and angled to do my eyeliner, and it's just the easiest way to do it in my opinion. The eyeliner has been applied and I'm gonna go ahead and put on lashes and I'll be right back. The lashes are on and I absolutely love how this looks. I don't know, it's kind of giving Yzma, but like more blue. I've been making a pistachio iced latte at home. My coffee is like my favorite and I just got this pistachio and it's just amazing. But okay, let's do my face. And okay, I want to keep it simple because I am trying a couple new products, but I am going to stick with like my base favorites. Oh my god, I just pumped a whole bunch out here. But I have my Rimmel London Full Coverage Lasting Finish Sunscreen, and I'm in the shade 200 Soft Beige. And to apply, I just spread everything out. And this just is like one of my favorite foundations, just in general. And it's affordable. I heard that it's actually I think some stores don't carry anymore, but I was able to get this on Amazon, and it seems like they still have it. So if you're wanting to try it, maybe grab it now before they actually discontinue it, because that would actually be sad. But I grabbed a new set of brushes, lol. I just want to test a couple theories out. So I'm just gonna see how this one works. This one is from Amazon. It's a set of 3. And they kind of remind me of like the Makeup by Mario ones, but it's very different still. It's still not like the same, like it's not a dupe at all. It just kind of gave me that type of feel, like when I felt the bristles. I mean, once they came in, but let's see how this blends out. And I have a lot of like hyperpigmentation from scarring happening right now, because I just tend to pick at my skin, and I had been breaking out around my chin because I have not been eating that well, but it's okay. It's getting better. I'm not breaking out anymore. It's just I scar even if I don't pick at my skin, so it's just something I just deal with. But I have like skincare that I use to kind of help me like fix some of that hyperpigmentation over time. Okay, immediately I don't like this. No. Yeah, that's a no. I'm gonna switch back to my Makeup by Mario. Oh, wrong side. I'm gonna switch back to my Makeup by Mario brush. I wasn't expecting it to be completely the same, but that one was really, really streaky. Really, really streaky. But I'm just fixing this up. Using a smaller brush, and basically I'm gonna stipple over the areas where I just want more coverage, like where I have on my marks here. Let that kind of sit. And I'll touch up the areas where my bigger brush couldn't apply foundation. I'll just kind of dab to blend everything in. But honestly, a lot of times if I have hyperpigmentation, scarring, like that to cover, I rarely ever use concealer, just because most of the foundations I use, especially if I'm not mixing them in with other glowy products or anything, I can just put a second thin layer. And it won't be cakey either, because I always do really thin layers in general. And now I'm just dabbing all this out to blend it out. A smaller brush like this lets me get into the corners right here where I really messed up my eyeshadow. And I'm dabbing because I don't want to smudge all this eyeshadow that kind of ended up on the sides of my nose. I'm also not going to be really bringing my foundation down my neck that much, because my shirt is kind of like higher collared. I don't want to get foundation on it, but this one's a pretty close match right now. I do have a little bit of a tan, so the undertone is a little off, but I'm going to be using a warm bronzer to fix that. This is an old favorite of mine. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is a cream bronzer, and I have the shade Amber. So I usually use another one, but I haven't tried this bronzer with this brush, and I really want to see how this looks, because this is far more pigmented than the Revolution cream bronzer I've been using. So I want to see how this Makeup by Mario brush melts this in. I mean, this far looks good. I mean, this brush is actually really nice. I don't think any of the other dupes that I'm seeing are going to even come close, because even from the ones I see circulating on TikTok, the brush doesn't look the same to me. Like everyone's comparing this one, I think the brand is like Jessup or something, to this brush. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it looks really different. The bristles are kind of cut a different way. The shape is different. Like, I think the reason why this is so special is because of the way like you have this shaped. So I don't know if Mario has like a patent on this or something, but this brush really is special. And you know, I just tried that brush and I hate it. So that's just gonna probably go to my son. He just plays with all the brushes I don't use. But I'm basically warming up my face a good bit. Yeah, this brush just melts everything in really nicely. And this bronzer is far more pigmented than my other one that I use. Really nice. Okay, these little baby hairs are getting on my nerves. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Woosah. Okay, and you want to make sure you're warming up your chin. I'm actually going to contour my nose with the same bronzer here. I'm just going to use another brush. It's thinner. I'm going to wipe off the excess onto the cap. I'm just going to draw my nose back on. When you use like fuller coverage, and especially like mattifying foundations and products like that, it can really flatten out your features, especially like your nose, your jawline, your cheekbones. So it's really important that if you're using those types of products that you add bronzer or contour and just get that dimension back. Because you're gonna look like Voldemort in all your photos, and believe me, I went through a time in my life where I just looked like Voldemort in all my photos. But I think that was like early, like 2000s. Who didn't look like Voldemort in their photos, you know? Wiped off any other product that was left on this brush and just blending this out. I don't want to completely blend this out because I'm putting powder on top and it's going to take off the edges on here, but just making sure everything's even. I'm applying my L'Oreal concealer, but I didn't apply the Dofa applicator onto my face. I just took my brush. I'm just getting like a lot of buildup right here, which I hate when products do that. Like, a big reason why I don't really use Huda Beauty products is because I know like her concealers and stuff like this, they tend to do that thing and things just leak. And I travel, and for me to carry things with me, I have to know they don't leak. So, but I had quite a bit of product on my brush, so I'm just gonna take my time and blend this out. Okay, we went a little bit crazy with my concealer, but I'm just going to take whatever is left over from a previous like makeup look that I did on my little powder puff and just kind of set that. I'm going to use a little bit extra bronzing powder on my face just to fix this because I didn't mean to go this heavy. I didn't realize this much concealer was on the brush, but we can fix it. Not a problem at all. Taking a little bit more bronzer on my Makeup by Mario brush. I'm just going to blend the concealer out a little bit. I just didn't like how harsh it was looking. But I really like the warmth of this bronzer, so we can just bring it into the face a little bit more. Yeah, my under eye is still bright, but this will make sure I don't look absolutely crazy. I've been waiting to try this product out for so long, and I've had it like sitting on my shelf for like 2-3 weeks now, and finally it's time to try it. But this is the Haus Labs Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer, and I grabbed light medium Terra. I'm using a clean brush. I'll just kind of powder one side here. I hope it's not crazy too pigmented. I prefer buildable bronzers, and I hope I didn't grab one. This actually looks darker than what I thought I bought. See, that's the thing. When I shop in Sephora, oh, I like this. Just immediately. Oh, that's really nice. Whoa. Oh, the feeling a new product is giving. What animal's on my window? There's some animal making a noise, and it just keeps coming up on my windowsill. Dust right here where I'm starting to look a little ashy. I like that. Ooh. Okay, I thought this might have been like a little too dark, but I think this is perfect. Wow. Okay, Haus Labs, I see you. This bronzer is really nice. Oh, I like it. I'm just kind of dusting it like everywhere at this point. It's just really nice. And honestly, my foundation match. Oh, this foundation is a little too pink for me right now, but that's gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna also use like a smaller powder brush to also kind of top off the bronzer on my nose. Oop, not this one. Just a little bit. Just to kind of set it and soften up those lines. This bronzer is gorgeous. I hate that I waited so long to try this. I like this more than the Dior one. Like, by far. This is really nice. Haus Labs is coming from my wallet because I guess it's time to head back to Sephora. So excited to try this out, but I keep seeing mixed reviews, including a recent friend I made on TikTok and Instagram. and she didn't like this product. So let's see. I'm still pretty excited to try it. So let's just see how this works out. This is the same brush I don't really like again, but this is another one. But this one's like for powder, blush, and contour, so I'm not too worried about this. Okay. Well, looks like there's a good bit coming up. I'm gonna tap off the excess in the lid. I'm just gonna lay this where I typically apply my blush. Okay, I love this color. And it's really mattifying. Like really, really mattifying. I didn't apply a cream product underneath this. I've recently been liking layering my cream blush and powder blush. But I'm just trying this one out just to see how it looks on its own. It's very, very mattifying. But for me, that's what I like. If you don't really like full-on matte looks, I don't know if this product's for you. But I love this. But this I can see this being cakey if you don't, if you apply too much. I'm just gonna put a little on my nose. But I really like this one. I mean, what do you guys think? I'm a fan of this. This is the shade Samo Spritzer. Yeah. I like this blush. And this is something that is on the more affordable end of Sephora. I mean, it's still like a high-end product because it is a Sephora product. But for $20, I think this is really nice. But this I only recommend if you prefer matte blushes, like completely matte, like no glow, no nothing. I do like my matte looks like most of the time. I do like a glow here and there. But I think for me, this is a fantastic product. But if you don't like matte blushes or just like a matte complexion, this is not for you, because if you have like a glowy complexion and you wear this, you're gonna look goofy. Just saying. Not someone that enjoys highlighter, but because I have like this more matte like blush going on, I do want to add a little bit of glow to my face, especially like my nose right here. So I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass Ambient palette. This is the Lighting Edit Mini. This is like one of the really old ones. But I'm using this shade right here. I don't know if they even sell it. It says Metallic Strobe Powder Champagne Strobe Light. Just in general, anytime I go for any type of highlight or even like a lid shade for my eyelid, I always go for a champagne tone. So this is perfect. I'm just gonna dust this on. Ooh, okay, I got a little too much. It's okay. This honestly is such like a soft highlight that this is why it's one of the few highlights that I really like. Well, this and the Sephora one. This actually kind of has specks of like glitter you can see, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but because it's kind of soft, I can work with it. There we go. I got a little bit of a glow, but I want to keep all my glowiness focused onto my eyelids, so this is good. Time for the lips. I recently got like a big pack of the Colourpop Lippie sticks, and I'm gonna go ahead and try this one out. This is the shade BFF2, and Colourpop formula is like, I mean, they're nice and creamy, but I don't think they last long, like at all. So the thing about being like an olive tone person, this swatched like a nice neutral like brownie pink on so many other people, and this is just straight up like orange on me, but I can make this work. Yeah, this is just giving like a rosy orange shade on me. Maybe it kind of goes with like the bronze I have in my face. I don't know, it doesn't look as bad in person, but on my viewfinder I feel like I look horrendous. But let's see, I feel like my camera does show more real life than what my viewfinder shows, because this viewfinder is also kind of crappy. But I mean, it works, and I can see where I am on the screen, which is the whole point of it. To go with like the orange vibes, I'll go ahead and use this. This is NYX. This is Milky Lip Gloss, and like this looks like a straight up orange shade, but actually doesn't look that bad on. Like this is a good like center, like brighter lip shade for me. I think I want to use a darker lip liner though to deepen up and maybe cool out the outer edges. That looks so much better. This is BFF3. I didn't realize they were all BFF shades here, but these two together I think look good, but it is a little bit more orange for my taste, but I think it kind of works with the look because I really have like a really bronzed base, so I think that's good. I think that's all for this look. Okay, we tried out a lot of like new to me products and some finds that I probably would have never picked up unless like I passed by, but I mean, okay. Honest thoughts. This is $10, right? Some of the shades are a little chalky. I haven't used all the shades, obviously. Some of them are like a good bit chalky. they blend fine. I mean, honestly, they blend pretty well, but it's because it's such like a loose formula. But the colors, like, they actually do look pretty rich. Like the deeper shades do look pretty rich, but there is like a bit of a chalkiness to them. Like I think one of the shades, I think it was this gray shade right here. When I was swiping the makeup brush on it, you could kind of hear like that chalky, dry sound. Like it sounded dry when I was dipping my brush into it. So just kind of keep that in mind. But for $10, like in the amount of shades you get, okay, the color story is gorgeous. The whole reason I picked this up was because of this color story. And you know, for $10, I mean, you can make it work, but keep in mind it's $10 and you can't expect like fantastic quality from this. So like some of the shades are chalky, especially like some of the lighter ones. Like I think the first crease shade I use is pretty chalky, but you know, I made it work. I think this blue shade is absolutely gorgeous, and I absolutely love these two like shimmer shades. I mean, I don't see any creasing yet. I'll update some on the screen to see if I see any creasing, but I don't see anything going in towards my crease right now. I mean, I set my eyelids before I put any eyeshadow on, but I think this is an absolutely gorgeous eye look. And I think the colors are really rich if you can work with them. Finally tried out the Haus Labs bronzer. I can't believe it took me this long, but I really do like this one. I have the shade light to medium, and I am gonna pick up a couple more because this is just like a true bronzer. Like it looks like I just kind of put on a tan. Like the result is kind of reminding me of the Hermes bronzer, but this feels completely different. It's just the end result is giving something similar to my Hermes bronzer, just saying. But the formula is absolutely different. Like this is a far more, like a thicker, I don't know how to describe it. I need to learn like the actual terms of this. But if you feel this feels more like a softer formula. The Hermes one is like harder, but it's lighter. It's like silky, if that makes any sense. But the finished like looks almost just like Hermes, just saying. So that's, I'm gonna go pick up like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 more shades. I really do like this bronzer. I really do like this one, but again, this is for a very specific type of person. And like, I personally like this formula, but I can see how a lot of people would not like this at all, because especially if you're playing with like glowy products, like I feel like if you didn't set your face before using this, or like use like a foundation that sets pretty well on its own, this is going to do that thing where you kind of like, it kind of like soaks up oil and it changes color. That's kind of what I feel like this would do. But I really like this. I don't know if I'm going to grab any more shades just because I have a lot of blushes, but I think this shade is just gorgeous, and I'm very happy with just this one right now. I'm really digging this look. And maybe I was a little bit harsh with this, but honestly, it's honest. I mean, it's not bad. If you want to try it, I don't know. For this color story, it's hard to find something at this price point, but I mean, just follow the tips, my suggestions, and you'll be fine. But I really do like this palette. Will I be getting any more from Profusion? No, because this is really the only color story that stood out to me. And I really do like the shimmer formulas. Maybe if they have like a palette with just like this formula of like the shimmers, maybe I'll consider getting that. But the rest of the shadows, I'm not too sure about it. Yeah, I'm going to keep working with this palette because I do want to do more looks with it, because the color story is just gorgeous. I really want to use this one and just all these shadows. Like a smoky eye with this would be gorgeous. So I'm excited to try this out more, but follow me on TikTok and Instagram, because that's where I'll do like my daily get ready with me's, and I'll really experiment with this palette. So if you want to see more looks with this eyeshadow palette, just follow me on TikTok and Instagram, because YouTube Shorts will see most of that stuff, but the TikTok and Instagram will see it first, and just a little bit more content, so you can do that there. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the video, and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up. But thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.